Good evening. Welcome to another nocturnal version of Diatribes from the voice of Doom. Now here's your nihilistic and niggardly host, voice of Doom. Benny King recorded about 500 years ago. It's a good song. It's very simple. It's one of those standards that every musician has to know off the top of his head because people will ask for it. And I don't know why I played it. It's when the night I do a night diatribe. I didn't really plan this at all. It's totally slipshod. And I used a couple adjectives in my introduction just to be a pill. Used the word niggardly because it's a horrible word, because it sounds like another word. There's a big thing about 20 years ago when some person of color professor used that word and he was lambasted as a racist because people don't know what the word means. It simply means stingy. But be that as it may, this is going to be a hodgepodge of crap tonight. I wanted to do a real quick one on this Odyssey business now. I'm not going to make any accusations whatsoever. I'm not going to make any assumptions. All I'm going to do is grab this can of Modelo Chelada Limon y Sal. Pretty cheap stuff, but it's alright. I'm not going to make any insinuations. I'm not going to say anything like, it's very convenient for Paul Odyssey to suffer an attack in his own home. Now, I've understood that the Odyssey family have not lost any pay. In fact, they've made a lot of money. And why you wouldn't have a very tight security system around your house and in your house, and even have maybe some paid armed guards in your house. I don't know. I don't know why. If I had $100 million, I would have a guard in my house 24/7. Because it's not like he's going to be in the way. If a guard was in my house, it'd be intrusive because he'd be sleeping on the couch and going through the fridge and whatever. But the person who attacked Paul Odyssey, who seems to be a hapless, feckless person. First he gets a DUI, and now he's being attacked with a hammer, and he's in the hospital. Now, Nancy wasn't there at the time, and the attacker said, "Where's Nancy?" Which was a stupid thing to say. Just shows you that these vendettas, these vigilantes are stupid on both sides, because you do not announce your intentions, you do not announce your motivations when you're attacking someone with a hammer. You just do it. I'm not condoning attacking with a hammer, just saying that Nancy wasn't there at the time, and I'm not going to insinuate that maybe it's a convenient thing for her that her husband was attacked with a hammer, because it turns out that this assailant had stuff on his page about the voter denying and January 6th, and apparently it's going to look like he is one of those mad, mega, ultra, mega megas that Petri Dish was warning us about. And if this is the big October surprise that's going to sway the election, because now everybody can see with their own eyes how dangerous these MAGAs are. It's pretty pathetic. But I'm not going to insinuate anything. I don't know much. I've heard this and that. I don't want to insinuate that Nancy would actually plan and conspire to have her husband beaten with a hammer. I'm not going to say that, because I don't think she'd do that. I think that she values her marriage much more than she values being Speaker of the House and third in line for the presidency. Now, when there's attacks that are political, they are very much accentuated by the media if it's one side doing the attacking. And there have been right-wing attacks, and there will probably be more. There's been many left-wing attacks that have been brushed under that big rug I was talking about. And I think if this person who didn't kill anyone, he simply went in with a hammer and broke into the house of the Speaker of the Congress and beat her husband with a hammer. So he should be out on bail by tomorrow. I mean, unless you want to be discriminatory, and do you want to play favorites, and do you want to have a special exception to this crime? I don't see why. I think the person should be let out on bail, and he should be free to commit more crimes before he finally faces trial. Because that's the way it's been, and you got to play fair. And of course the D's don't play fair. But it's an interesting thing. I'm sure it's going to be in the news for the next few days. Very heavy in the news by both sides. And the Foxers are saying, you see how bad crime is? You see, it's coming home to roost. The roosters are coming home to roost. And I think the D's are saying this is very convenient. This is a very good thing that happened, because it will illustrate very, very dramatically, very eloquently, that the MAGAs are out of control. And if you vote in these megas into Congress, it will be nothing but bloodshed everywhere. The senators and the congressmen will unleash a reign of terror such as the world has never seen. So we'll see how this goes. They're going to play it out for everything it's worth. I think the guy should be let out on with no bail and be given a court date. He should be treated like everyone else. There should not be any discrimination. But I don't think that Pelosi, Nancy, is so heartless that she would arrange to not be at home when her husband is attacked by someone. Now, how he got in, I don't know. What he was after, I don't know. But he was caught, and according to somebody, whoever was the witness or whatever, he said, "Where's Nancy?" which indicates that he had a target in mind. And it was Pelosi, the Speaker of the House. He was acting out on things that many people may have... I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to go there because I will be banned. I don't know why I'll be banned, but I can tell that this is the kind of diatribe that could be flagged by the bots as being insurrectory. But it's going to be a short one. I don't have much to say. I didn't plan anything to say. I don't want to throw out any accusations. I don't think that Nancy Pelosi is such a succubus and a acolyte of Hades that she would arrange to have her husband beaten for political purposes. I'm not going to say that. That would be irresponsible to insinuate such a thing. And I don't want to talk about the D's making hay out of this incident, knowing full well that if a Republican had been attacked or been threatened, which there have been many, or people on the right, such as Kavanaugh, such as Zeldin, such as other Republicans who have been threatened, that's not something we have to worry about. They are just random crimes. It has nothing to do with politics. In fact, all of the left wing have nothing to do with politics. They're just mad at racism and mad at climate change. So their crimes can be excused and forgiven, and there can be pardons for all of them. But this guy will have to be executed because he is a MAGA insurrectionist who would have been right in the middle of January 6th if he had been there. Would have been right in the fray. So there's crazy people out there in the Gopper camp. People better be careful. I think you better think about this before the election. I think this incident is a very good indication that crime is not a problem. But what is a problem is these MAGAs with hammers. So everybody better maybe rethink how they were going to vote. And I personally am not. I'm going to vote the way I was before. But that's because I'm jaded, and that's because I have no feelings. I have no heart. I said nothing. I wanted to just do a quick railing about the incident because my internet was down for half a day, and it was supposed to be down for a day or two because the whole area was down. I found out from American Telephone and Telegraph. And I was glad to hear that because I didn't want to think that maybe I was behind on my bill again because my kid would have a crap fit. Because I've been beholden to everybody since I was born. First my parents, then my wife, now my kids. I will never be in charge of anything. I will never be the authority in any household. Because my kid has more money than me and he's more responsible than me, and if I let the bill not get paid, then he's going to be pissed. And I'll just talk about the microcosm real quick before I close. Max, my older kid, paid me the balance on his rent for October with his very last paycheck. And that is a miracle. That is something that is a harbinger for much more important things to come. Because if he can pay me a month's rent, almost anything could happen on this planet. So I'll leave it there. I'm going to talk more tomorrow. I'll probably plan one better. We're getting closer. Today is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we got 11 days until we find out what the hell happens. But after this incident, I'm afraid that's going to bode badly for the Goppers because they are all in the same ilk of that hammer-wielding fiend. They're all the same. All the Goppers, evil. So we'll leave it at that, and thank you for listening. It was a short one, and I didn't say much. Thanks, everybody.